So I've been watching Jake Paul and Logan Paul have a little bit of rivalry, it seems to be going on lately. And it all started when Jake Paul was reacting to a video where Logan Paul had said he was offered to fight Mike Tyson before Jake Paul, to where Jake Paul had responded by saying that never happened. And what's even more crazy about all of this is the fact that Logan had called Mike Tyson senile, as if he's kind of downplaying this fight.
Oh, this was mentioned on your podcast. Logan said he was offered to fight Mike Tyson and he declined.
For both Mike and Jake, the bag. Like at what point you can't, I don't know if you could say no. I said no to fighting Mike Tyson.
I'd say no.
I was offered it. And
you actually offered?
Yeah, I was offered it, but not on Netflix and not for a big ass bag. It was just like a, oh, this could be a real fight. Because I've been asked before. I'm sure you have too. Do you think you could beat Mike Tyson? And my answer was and will be yes.
Well, yeah, now?
Yes, I just think he's too old, bro. That's crazy.
Oh God,
he's senile.
The thing is, he'd be great for a round, maybe.
Yeah, which is also not true.
Oh, so Logan was not offered to fight Mike Tyson?
No.
Oh.
Because we're the ones that brought the deal to Mike Tyson.
Gotcha.
So I don't know why he would say that. Like me and Most Valuable Promotions and my partner Nikisa struck a deal with Netflix and then went to other fighters to try to get them involved. And it started with like Tommy Fury. He wanted more money. There wasn't more money.
Yeah.
So then we went to Mike Tyson, and after like months of talking, got him to be down to fight. And so Mike Tyson wasn't offering people deals. So I don't know what he's talking about.
So why did Logan say that then? You think it's just because, like you said, he's around KSI, or do you think he's?
I don't know. I really don't know. But we were the ones offering people the deal to fight. So Mike Tyson wouldn't have been in the market offering Logan to fight.
Gotcha.
So I don't know what it is.
Okay.
It also looks like Logan Paul has taken out part of the podcast that talks about Logan Paul being offered to fight Mike Tyson, which I was watching from Too Lazy to Try's YouTube channel.
Also, I know at one point there were rumors of him possibly fighting Tyson, but I don't think he got an offer, like Jake said. And then also he actually took that part out of the podcast once Jake exposed him and said, no, he never got an offer. Then Logan or somebody on his team ended up removing the part where he's talking about getting an offer. And now you can see there's just a cut in the podcast. So it seems like what Jake said is probably accurate.
Live sporting events. And bro, for both Mike and Jake, the bag. Like at what point you can't, I don't know if you could say no.
Has there been any videos that have come out past the 4 year ago? You know that 4 year ago video that's been getting...
So it sounds like Logan probably did make that up.
Now, to see how this is a whole bunch of drama between Logan Paul and Jake Paul, man, I really hope the two find a way to have a conversation. Because, bro, the last thing you want to do is have a fallout with your own brother and it be displayed on the internet. Which it's already on the internet, of course. But I'm just saying they could always put a stop to that by having a conversation and being like, yo, you're my brother. My bad, don't let my ego get the best of me. That's on me. Like if I was Logan, that's what I would say. Because I think Logan and Jake definitely have to be competitive. Jake Paul obviously wanted to get out of Logan Paul's shadow for so many years. Now he has, and I think Logan in some type of way could feel a little bit of jealousy just because he's outshining him a little bit. And I think one thing you have to understand, even if you are doing great in your life, there's going to be a point where people are going to outshine you. That's just the way it goes. And you should be happy when somebody's outshining you. That shows a sign of humbleness. Ego is your biggest enemy, man. That's a terrible energy to keep around you. So, I pray for the two to not let any of this competitiveness get in the way of, them being brothers. Because, blood is thicker than water. And life is too short to create a divide between one another over status. Now, in other historical news, Mexicanot has officially debuted on the Joe Rogan podcast. And while I was watching this podcast, Mexicanot had told Joe Rogan which artist he believes is better than Tupac.
Fuck, zero. They don't be giving him his flowers, bro. Not only was he making great music and harmonizing with dope-ass raw lyrics, he was making his beats. You know what I'm saying? And he was really delivering that shit, bro. He had a swagger to him. And, nobody wanted to fuck with him, and that's why it make him even more of a beast. Cause like when nobody wanted to fuck with him, they had no choice but to fuck with him.
Right.
It was so in their face. It was so good.
It became undeniable.
Exactly, and it was so good that if you didn't like it, you were a dry ass hater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're just dry hating because like you know that shit good.
Yeah. Those are the saddest people.
Yeah.
A dry hater.
Didn't nobody go through pain the way Zero went through it, losing his mama. Nobody wanted to fuck with him. Nobody wanted to hand him the weed. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody loved Pac because he was a movie star. Like he was a role model.
Right.
Zero was like really gutter, raw, uncut. You know what I'm saying? From the streets. Nobody wanted to fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? People hating on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I love it because he made the people have no choice but to love and respect his music at one point. Because it was just so in their face. You know what I'm saying? And me being Mexican, I'm playing a black predominant game. So like I had to put it in their face. Same thing with Paul. He white, having to put it in their face.
Yeah.
So when you come up like that, it's more respectable. You know what I'm saying? I love
it's
that
undeniable.
shit. Correct.
Yeah.
Like I said, Pac, he influenced the world, which is cool, but like he wasn't making better music than Zero, in my personal opinion.
Well, you're allowed to have your opinion.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. It's
And-
also
and-
like
And it might also be just because I'm from Texas. That's what I grew up on. Like
right.
some
If you were
people-
growing up with Pac, you would have a different opinion.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
That man Mexican OT really loves where he came from, bro. He really does. I don't know nothing about Zero, but to put him on the level as like Tupac, like that's a crazy compliment. And to also show love to Paul Wall, because he was talking about Paul Wall in that interview. Paul Wall was huge in the early 2000s, and now he is right back to where he was in the early 2000s because of Mexican OT. To now Mexican OT showing love to Zero. Like, Mexican OT is all about just keeping Texas alive, it sounds like. Like, he really wants to represent for Texas, but also have others win as well and get their flowers. Like, that's so different, bro. Because there are so many rappers that pop off in their states and they make it all about themselves. And when they fall off, their state don't have any other rappers that blow up like they did because they only focused on themselves. Mexican OT, he's going to be around for a while, not just because he's popping, because he's also showing love to other artists that are in Texas. You feel me? Like, that is some badass shit. Just like his homie Drody. I was watching a video where apparently Drody was going to be taking off the song he did with Paul Wall for Johnny Dang. And he was like, I ain't going to do the song then if y'all take my homie off that song. And now that song's sitting at like 55 million views. And his friend was a part of that song because he stood up for him. Like, yo, I'm telling you, bro, that type of energy and that type of respect you give to people is going to take you far. The more you are a genuine human, the more blessed you are. That's why this man's on Joe Rogan. There is a reason for that. When you're a good human, good things happen.
Did you, like, when you first cut that record, like, when y'all heard it, like, did you have, I mean, it's a hard record, but did you have any idea it would have, like, the commercial success?
Nah, hell no. It was just another song. Like I said, when me and OT first linked up, all we did, I would go to his apartment, we'll go to his balcony, and we'll play beats and smoke and just write. And then when the label heard it, they fucked with it. They was like, hold on to this. We're going to put it on the album. Or we're gonna do
Paul Wall on
with
it yet?
Nah, it
No.
was just me and OT. They were like, don't drop it yet. You know, we like the song. We want to put some money behind it. So OT was like, bet. He didn't drop it. And then a little bit later, they're like, we're going to put Key Glock on it. It was in the studio when they told him that. I was like, hell yeah, it's going to be live. He's like, they want me to take you off, though. I was like, shit, I'm not tripping. Key Glock, you know what I mean? That hoe
Fuck
gonna go
that.
Crazy. Yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't
No.
tryna hold that
Key
shit
Glock's
back.
a homie, but I'm saying, like,
Yeah, I didn't want to hold it back, though. I was
Right.
like, shit, hell yeah. Like, I
That shit
knew he was
happens
signed
all
to
the
a
time
label.
for
Because
the
I was with
record.
OT before he got signed with the
right.
label, so I
So
already
you
knew.
could be like, yo, I get it. We got 30 songs together. If they take
Yeah,
off
like
this
him
one.
being signed to the label, I already knew, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they gonna have some control over shit too. And I was like, I'm not tripping, I'm not trying to, you know, and he just got signed with them. Like, I don't wanna fuck your relationship up, being like, nah, fuck that, this or that. I'm like, go ahead. And OT though was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna tell them they could add them, but they gotta keep you on there. I'm like, I told him, all right, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm not tripping, bro. Like, shit, do your thing. And then I never heard nothing back after that. And then a little bit later, once we got beat on managing OT, that's whenever they said Paul Wall was gonna be on it. I was like more excited about that because, you know, I grew up listening to Paul Wall.
That is the definition of a real one. Like, imagine if the song never came out because of that. Like, Mexican OT put his whole rap career on the line for his homie. Like, that's some real ass shit right there. And I like how humble Drody is, because he was like, bro, I was willing to be like, yo, if they don't want me on this song, I'm cool with that. I don't want to mess up the song. Like, that's a real friend you want around your circle. Somebody who is not in it for selfish reasons. And it looks like Mexicanot's got a new project that he just dropped. It's called The Texas Technician, which I've skimmed through some of that album. And there were a couple of bangers on there, like the one with Kevin Gates and the music video itself. I really fuck with the music video. And then that one with Paul Wall, like, yo, Paul Wall had the best verse on this shit that he just put out with Mexicanot's. Like, he went in on that shit, bro. It was, to me, I was already imagining a music video for that song. I hope they do a music video for that because that shit slid. It was very well put together. Now, in other news, Ye looks to be releasing his next album on his own personal website, Yeezy.com, to stick it to the music industry by not putting it on streaming platforms. Now, before I read this, I want y'all to know this came from Ye Fanatics. It's like a fan page of everything related to what Kanye is up to. So if y'all want to ever look for information related to Kanye, check out Ye Fanatics. So it starts off by saying, was talking with the team about how to release the next album. Like James Blake said, streaming devalues our music. We sell our albums on Yeezy.com. I got 20 million Instagram followers. When 5% of my followers buy an album, that's 1 million albums sold. That's 300,000 more than the biggest album last year. We sold 1 million items on Yeezy.com on Super Bowl Sunday, so we know it's possible. How do you feel about us not streaming and only selling an album digitally? So, Vultures 2 won't be released on Apple Music, Spotify, or Tidal? Will it only be available on Yeezy.com? I think it's a very good idea, Ye. We will all go to Yeezy.com to buy it. To where Kanye had said, can we get 1 million people to buy the album? When we do that, we won't have the streaming companies in control of the artist anymore. I did a survey on Twitter in case you want to take a look at it. It would be nice if the album was in streaming for reasons that many fans do not have the option to pay for the album and others are going to hack it. It would be nice for our community to support albums. Streaming is basically pirating. To where there was another screenshot where Kanye had said, we're going to sell it on Yeezy.com for $20 an album. Did you see what James Blake said about streaming? I don't know, Ye. People are going to pirate the album first. Getting more people as possible is only possible with the streaming service. The aim of a man of God is to reach as most people as you can. Like, you're bringing God into that? Like, what? Like, that sounds wild. Then Kanye had responded saying, this is what James Blake was talking about. You hitting me saying you need vultures, but the streaming companies have made it to where you don't have to value us as artists. I have a platform where you can buy the album for $20. Then you bring God into it. One thing about Ye is he's always had this mapped out. If you look back even in 2013, like this dude has really predicted the future when it comes to the internet, because the internet really made it possible to where you can become your own self-made man. You know what I'm saying? And with this change that Kanye is about to experiment with, it's going to be really interesting to see the results. And if this becomes a success for Kanye, best believe people are going to follow the blueprint that he is laying out for all artists in 2024.
Because if you can't control me, then you can't control him, then you can't control him, then you can't control him, and then the information age starts. Steve Jobs made the internet usable. This is the information age. We barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's things that are moving. The entire music industry was hit by a fucking glacier by the internet. You know what I'm saying? But shit is changing.
Yeah.
People are going to look at this interview and say, hey, I understand what he's talking about. People are going to look at this interview and say, I don't like Kanye. Look, he looks mad. I don't like his teeth. They're going to say, why doesn't he just focus on music? I liked him as music. They're going to say, hey, I want the old Kanye, blah, blah, blah. But one thing they will do, they will play this interview in 5 years. They will play this interview in 10 years and say, he called that, he called that, he called that. He said that was going to happen. That was going to change.
You're a futurist.
Yeah.